Well, here we are, the end of 2020. That's certainly been a year that happened. So anyway, before I start cracking into the roasting, I'd just like to explain what's going on with this video, right? Because I wanted to create a sequel to my top 10 fuckwits of 2015 video, since I realised I haven't done a follow-up to that since I made that one. Haven't done a year-end video since I made that one. And I was thinking, okay, well, who are my top 5 biggest fuckwits of 2020? And then I realised, you know, actually I've got more than 5 fuckwits. So I was thinking probably my best bet might be to split this motherfucker into 2 parts. So you're going to get my top 5 semi-famous fuckwits, because a couple of these aren't really that famous. And my top 5 biggest YouTube fuckwits. Because otherwise I'm going to have a bunch of people off the list that'll fucking don't want to keep off the list. And I'm going to have a bunch of people where most of the comments are going to be, why didn't you include this person I've got a personal hate boner for in your list? Spoiler alert, because it's my fucking list. But anyway, let's begin. So anyway, first half, as I say, will be sort of your more famous fuckwits. And the second half will be the biggest fuckwits I've encountered here on this very platform. Capiche? Boom. Alright, let's get into this shit. Number 5. Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. Why Vince McMahon, you ask? Well, Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE, decided to use the COVID-19 pandemic as an excuse to do some spring cleaning of his roster. Now, theoretically, this is a sensible move. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Vince McMahon's still running shows without crowds, so that's a lot of overheads, a lot of money, especially with fucking WWE's number of talents on their roster, right? Problem is, because of their TV deals and so on and so forth, they're still making money hand over fist. From what I understand, Vince is still one rich motherfucker, okay? And he's going to be turning fucking several $1 billion worth of profits allegedly this year. So it's kind of a piss weak excuse to go, there's a pandemic, sorry guys, I'm going to have to fire you, budgetary reasons. Leave a whole bunch of motherfuckers jobless in a fucking COVID market, so it's not exactly easy for indie fucking shows to run shows. And leave a bunch of motherfuckers starving and whatever. Now, on the bright side, a lot of these people have shacked up elsewhere, Impact, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, what have you. But then there's a couple of others that haven't been so lucky, guys like Eric Redbeard, the former Eric Rowan, and Levis Valenzuela, the former No Way Jose, who are out doing indie shit and sort of haven't had much of a sniff from any of the big companies. So yeah, while these guys have landed on their feet, and while it's good for certain guys because now they actually get to fucking wrestle on national TV again, rather than sitting and catering, it's the principle behind it. It's Vince McMahon cutting a bunch of people for a piss-weak excuse when he's making money hand over fist. Screw you, you old cunt. Step down and hand the company over to your son-in-law already. Number 4. Bruce Mitchell from Pro Wrestling Torch. This motherfucker's a late addition, and some of you are thinking, who the fuck is Bruce Mitchell from Pro Wrestling Torch? Well, Bruce Mitchell from Pro Wrestling Torch is a piece of shit. Short and simple, and the reason he's a piece of shit, Brody Lee died recently. Brody Lee, the former Luke Harper, fucking in WWE, wrestled for AEW under the name Brody Lee, had wrestled before WWE under the name Brody Lee, so he's fairly well travelled. So he'd been missing from AEW TV for a bit, and nobody seemed to know why until it turned out on Sunday my time, Saturday American time, that Brody Lee had passed away from non-COVID related lung ailment. And so that was fucking really sudden and really gutting. Myself, a lot of people around the world, fucking real heartbroken, man. I love that guy. But anyway, Brody's wife came out and said, yeah, my husband died because his lungs just gave out on him, a non-COVID lung ailment. So this piece of shit Bruce Mitchell basically put out a hit piece calling her a liar and saying it's a COVID thing. Now, why the fuck this woman would lie, your guess is as good as mine, because this guy's full of shit. But the fact this motherfucker is going out of his way to call a grieving widow a liar for no good reason, just for clicks, disgusts me. The cunt deserves to have lost his job, but what pisses me off is the fact that they even published this motherfucker's article to start with. Like, his firing his shit just seems like damage control to me from PW Torch. But the fact is, this cunt shouldn't have written this article in the first place. What fucking leap of logic do you go to go, a beloved indie wrestler who was loved by fans and other wrestlers alike has died. I should make a hit piece calling his widow a fucking liar with no factual basis. That'll go down well. Come on, motherfucker. Stupid. Stupid idea. You're a piece of shit. To the unemployment line with you, you sack of crap. Now, I know on my last point, I fucking cut Vince McMahon's legs out from under him for firing people, but those were people that didn't know they were getting fired. This motherfucker deserves it for being a piece of shit. That sort of shit doesn't keep you your job. How dare this motherfucker do that? He's trying to make profit through bullshit, through lies, through specious reasoning. Good. Dodgy journalism. Motherfuckers need to pay a penance for that shit. Motherfuckers need to start answering for shit journalism. There's a bunch of stupid people out there who would read this and go, that's fact. That's not fucking right. Fuck you, Bruce. Number 3. My good old boy, Chris Taylor Brown. Already had a big rant about this guy. It's one of my more recent videos about the fuckwit. He spent the last year and a bit making an absolute mook of himself on social media. Go check out RanterinShades and Atticus the Death Metalist channels if you want to have an in-depth look at all of this shit this dumb cunt's done. But the fact the motherfucker's managed to tarnish his tiny legacy, his band's tiny legacy, and alienate any potential fans that fucking Nickelback fucking Trapped may have had once. It's not the behaviour of an adult. It's not the behaviour of an adult who's pushing 40. Especially when said adult pushing 40 is advocating pedophilia. Chris Taylor Brown's a dumb cunt. He's another one that's deserved every bit of fucking backlash he's gotten. He deserves every bit of fucking backlash he has gotten because he's a cunt, because the shit he says is stupid. And hey, I doubt it because I doubt he has the moral integrity to do so, but maybe he'll think about this and think about his actions and improve, which would be grouse. Probably not, but hey, one can hope, right? Number 2. Amber fucking Heard. Fuck this bitch. Not literally, I wouldn't touch that with someone else's dick, but figuratively. And for those of you who've been living under a rock going, the fuck is Amber Heard and how is she this high on the list? Amber Heard is Johnny Depp's ex. And Amber Heard has basically been going out of his way to wreck Johnny's career for no apparent reason. See, this shit all began when Amber Heard started coming out claiming she'd been abused by Johnny Depp during their relationship. Then it turned out she was full of shit and she was the abusive one. But hey, tough luck, because some people actually think Johnny's still the guilty one, in spite of no proof. There's no proof he's done anything. There's plenty of proof she's done a lot of shit, though. And so, Amber Heard, the bitch, has managed to get some people to believe that Johnny's done shit wrong. Netflix has pulled down most of his movies, and there's a fucking succinct irony in Netflix drawing a line there. Being accused of being a spousal abuser? Can't have that. Meanwhile, here's Cuties! Fuck you, Netflix, you fucking hypocritical assholes. So fuck Amber Heard. She's basically tried to tank Johnny's career, has somewhat, she's done enough damage regardless. So she's done damage to him in terms of his movie career, and that's after attacking the guy. Johnny Depp is an absolute good cunt. The man's an artist. The man has brung so much joy to so many people. What about Amber Heard? No. So she's basically made a dick of herself, lied about Johnny Depp. Again, Atticus has done some fucking good videos on this cow. But she's made an absolute bitch of herself and alienated a lot of people, but the worst part is there's some people out there that still think she's legit, and that sickens me, you know. And the bit that's really cunty is the fact that there's gonna be other abuse victims coming out in relationships. Do you know how fucking difficult it is for people to come out saying, hey, my spouse is abusing me? By default, it's fucking difficult. This shit doesn't help, because then you have more people going, oh well, remember Amber Heard, so she could be lying, and she's not. So all this fucking cow has done is not only has she tanked Johnny's career a wee bit, she's also made it fucking more difficult for other abuse victims to come out. You didn't think of that, did you, Amber, you fucking idiot? Go fuck yourself. And number one, and who boy, this one ain't gonna be spicy, Donald Trump. Outgoing current American president, Donald Trump. Yeah, okay, so I'm not an overly political person when it comes to American politics. But Trumpy Wumps is a fucking idiot. And you can't tell me he's not, right? The whole fucking response or lack thereof with COVID-19. COVID is basically running roughshod in America because Trump's done fuck all to try and curb it. And when he's been asked about it, he's either given non-committal answers or he's basically tried downplaying the seriousness of the fucking thing. And that's after the piece of shit caught it and recovered from it. He's still denying it. Then there's the fact he refuses to refer to it as its proper name and goes out of the way to call it such obnoxious things as the China virus or the Kung flu. Look, there's being flippant and then there's being a dumb cunt, and Trumpy Wumps is fucking making it in art form, right? Then you factor in the fact that he's throwing a fucking tantrum because he lost the 2020 election. Okay? And don't give me that, but voter tampering, the results aren't fully in. Joe Biden hasn't been inaugurated. Look, motherfuckers, let's be real here. No cunt was claiming voter rigging until Trumpy Wumps went out and said, it's a fix, it's rigged, I lost the election and I don't like it. Me and my tiny hands don't like it. China. Look, the cunt lost the election fair and square, okay? I don't particularly dig how America handles its elections with the whole electoral college thing, but then I don't understand enough about it to really have a fucking opinion, do I? So I'm not going to. But the fact is that Trump lost fair and fucking square. The man is a fucking man-child. Now, I'm going off on a little tangent here because I want to get this out, at least in this video. When Trumpy Wumps was elected and was inaugurated, you had all the walking pronouns on YouTube like Justin Dennis talking about hate one. Here's the deal, right? I don't think Donald Trump is an intentionally hateful person. I just think he's a fucking idiot with too many opinions. Gee, that sounds familiar. But it's the fact I don't think Donald Trump is hateful as much as he's intentionally and willfully ignorant. He's like that one really obnoxious, like, boomer Karen auntie we all have. The one that has all these fucking outrageous opinions who says really stupid shit and just fucking will die on that hill without having any fucking particular reason to. Yeah, Trump is basically that auntie complete with that same haircut. He's not malicious, particularly. He's just a fucking moron. But it's the fact that he's such a willful and sustained moron who gives rise and gives credence to other morons. Let's take some of the shit Nate Talks to You posts. You have a bunch of fucking Trump marks in there just parroting the shit Donald Trump says with no rhyme or reason. There's no proof, there's no logic behind it. It's just, my orange senpai said this, so it's gospel. Okay, why? Because Orange Summer said it. Cool. That's not a reason. So, for being a dickhead himself, and for giving a carte blanche to other dickheads, Donald Trump is the number one on Uncle Damo's top 5 famous fuckwits of 2020. So stay tuned for part 2, and that will be up shortly. I'm splitting this one in two because it's going to be a bitch to film, and it's going to be a bitch to expect you guys to sit through basically 2 back-to-back 5-part lists. So, see you in part 2.